It started with a dream to change the way money moves in the digital world. But what began as a small idea inside a cramped office in Silicon Valley would soon become a global financial revolution. This is the story of PayPal, a company that was born out of chaos, driven by visionaries, and shaped by battles that changed the future of the internet. It's a story of ambition and betrayal, of innovation and survival. And believe it or not, PayPal's wild early days created some of the most powerful people in tech history, people who would go on to build Tesla, YouTube, LinkedIn, and SpaceX. But before all that, there was uncertainty, ego clashes, and one big question: could strangers really trust the internet with their money? Our story begins in December 1998. The dot-com boom was in full swing. The internet was exploding with new startups every day, and investors were throwing money at anything with .com in its name. Inside a small office in Palo Alto, two men, Max Levchin and Peter Thiel, were working on a strange idea. They called it Confinity. The idea was simple but radical. They wanted to make it easy for people to send money electronically, from one device to another, securely and instantly. At first, it wasn't about shopping or e-commerce. Their first concept was to send money between Palm Pilots. Yes, those tiny handheld devices that existed before smartphones. But soon they realized something. People didn't really want to be money between gadgets. They wanted to send money online. That small realization changed everything. Around the same time, another entrepreneur, Elon Musk, was running his own company called X.com, which aimed to revolutionize online banking. Musk's vision was huge. He wanted to build the one financial service for everything. Two companies, one mission, both chasing the same dream: the future of digital payments. What happened next would become one of Silicon Valley's most fascinating rivalries, and later, one of its most legendary mergers. The early days were wild. Confinity's small team worked day and night, sleeping under desks, surviving on caffeine and hope. Their office was chaotic, a mix of genius ideas, broken code, and a burning desire to outsmart everyone else. When they launched the PayPal feature in 1999, allowing users to send money via email, something magical happened. People loved it. Online sellers on eBay discovered PayPal and started using it to collect payments. It was fast, simple, and trustworthy, something the internet desperately needed. Within months, PayPal exploded. Thousands of new accounts were created every day. But growth came with a price. For every new user, PayPal had to pay bonuses, literally giving people free money to sign up and refer friends. It was costing millions. Competitors were rising, fraud was spreading, servers were crashing. Inside the company, pressure was reaching boiling point. But in the chaos, a group of young minds began to shape PayPal's destiny. Engineers, designers, and dreamers who would later be known as the PayPal Mafia. There was Reid Hoffman, who would later found LinkedIn, Steve Chen, Chad Hurley, and Jawed Karim, who would create YouTube. David Sachs would build Yammer. And of course, Elon Musk, the man who would one day reach Mars. Together, they were brilliant, competitive, and fearless, and they were about to collide. By early 2000, PayPal was on fire, growing faster than it could control. Fraudsters were exploiting the system, hackers were finding loopholes, and the company was losing money every single day. To make things worse, the rivalry between X.com, Elon Musk's company, and Confinity, Peter Thiel's company, was heating up. They were in a price war, trying to attract the same users, often at unsustainable costs. Investors grew nervous, employees were exhausted. Then, in March 2000, something unexpected happened. the two rival companies merged. X.com and Confinity became one. It sounded like the perfect solution, but behind closed doors, chaos erupted. Peter Thiel and Max Levchin's cautious technical approach clashed with Elon Musk's bold, risk-taking style. Musk wanted to rename everything under X.com, even PayPal itself. But employees hated the name. They loved PayPal. The conflict grew worse during a company trip when Elon Musk was away. The board held a secret meeting and voted to remove him as CEO. When Musk landed, he found out he'd been replaced by Peter Thiel. It was one of the most dramatic power struggles in Silicon Valley history. But to his credit, Musk didn't fight back. He stayed on as an investor and supporter. Under Thiel's leadership, PayPal refocused, cut costs, and pushed for profitability. But even then, the world outside wasn't kind. Regulators were suspicious, fraud was rampant, and the dot-com bubble had just burst. The dream of Silicon Valley was collapsing, but somehow PayPal refused to die. In 2002, after years of struggle, PayPal finally went public. Its IPO was a massive success, raising over $60 million and valuing the company at more than $1 billion. Just months later, eBay came calling. The auction giant had been using PayPal on their platform for years, and they wanted it for themselves. In October 2002, eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion. For the team inside PayPal, it was the end of an era and the start of a legend. The founders cashed out, but they didn't disappear. They took their PayPal experience, their failures, their lessons, and built new empires. Elon Musk launched SpaceX and expanded Tesla. Reid Hoffman created LinkedIn. Steve Chen, Chad Hurley, and Jawed Karim created YouTube. David Sachs founded Yammer. The PayPal mafia was born, and their influence would shape the future of the internet for decades. Inside eBay, PayPal grew steadily, becoming the backbone of online shopping. But over time, tensions grew again. PayPal wanted to move faster, innovate more, and explore mobile payments. eBay wanted stability. By 2015, it became clear PayPal needed to stand on its own. So, after 13 years together, PayPal split from eBay and became an independent company once again. This time, it wasn't just about online payments. It was about the future of money itself. The world had changed. Smartphones, digital wallets, crypto, fintech startups, and PayPal had to evolve or fade away. Today, PayPal is one of the world's leading financial technology companies, serving over 400 million users across the globe. It owns Venmo, Braintree, and Honey. It powers millions of small businesses. It connects the digital economy. But it's no longer the scrappy startup fighting for survival. It's a giant, and with that comes new challenges. Competition from Apple Pay, Stripe, Square, and crypto platforms has made the game harder. And yet, PayPal remains a symbol of trust, a name people still click when sending money to a stranger across the world. Its journey has been anything but smooth, filled with battles, betrayals, and brilliant minds. But perhaps that's what made it legendary. Because PayPal didn't just change how we pay, it changed how we believe in the internet. It taught us that money, once physical and slow, could move as fast as an email. And behind that revolution were dreamers who risked everything not just for profit, but for a future they could imagine long before anyone else did. So the next time you click Pay with PayPal, remember, it's not just a button. It's the legacy of a wild idea born in a small Silicon Valley office, an idea that refused to die and ended up changing the world. In the end, PayPal's story isn't just about money. It's about trust and how a few rebels convinced the world to believe in something that didn't yet exist.